There are three things that I hate about community property agreements. Hey everybody, I'm Christopher Small, the owner of CMS Law Firm. We do estate planning, we do probate, we do it well, and I'm here to talk to you about why community property agreements are so bad. Before I get to that though, I want to remind you, if you have questions about this or anything else related to estate planning or probate and you want to talk with us over the phone for free, you can do so by going to cmslawfirm.com. Okay, I had a little backstory here. I had a client come in to my office recently, and she has a community property agreement with her spouse. This community property agreement was made in many decades ago, okay? Several decades ago. I'm not gonna tell you exactly how much because, confidentiality and stuff, but it was made a while ago. And she was curious about the community property agreement because the way that she read it, it kind of limited the things that she could do. And she was right. By the way, let's talk about what a community property agreement is real quick. A community property agreement, first of all, it's only allowed, I think, in 8 states. Washington is one of them. A community property agreement is a document that is signed by a married couple that basically says 2 things. Thing number 1 is we want all of our property to be deemed community property, okay? You can have exceptions inside of the community property agreement. Most do for like inheritances, stuff like that. But it basically says we want everything to be community property. And it says when the first spouse dies, everything, all community property is to go to the surviving spouse. This was originally done because it helps you avoid probate, okay? This thing, okay, that's it. That's why people used to do it all the time. I don't do them. I've never done a community property agreement. I'm 99% sure. I've just never liked them. I've never seen the benefit of them, okay? People use them mostly as a probate avoidance tool. That's why they put them together. Here are 3 reasons why I hate community property agreements. Reason number 1 is that they are not the best tool to help you avoid probate. There are many other things that you can use. And the changes in the law have actually helped this. So for bank accounts, checking savings accounts, you can use pay on death designations. For investment accounts, you can use beneficiary designations. For retirement accounts, beneficiary designations. For life insurance, beneficiary designations. For real estate, you can use something called a transfer on death designation. All of these basically say, when I die, I want this property to go to here. If you want it to go to your spouse, you can give it to your spouse, okay? So all of these are just wonderful probate avoidance tools. That is one reason why I don't like community property agreements. It's not the best tool for the job anymore. There are other things that I believe are better. Number 2, this is the second reason why I don't like community property agreements. And it kind of has to go with number 1, that there is no wiggle room on community property going to the surviving spouse. In Washington state, each spouse owns half of the community property estate. So if you imagine a pie, let's say it has $2 million in it, spouse 1 has $1 million, spouse 2 has $1 million. In Washington state, each spouse can send their $1 million wherever they want. They each own half. Most of the time they give it to the other spouse, but sometimes they want to give it to someone else. What if there is a child from a previous marriage? What if there is another family member that they want to take care of? Toss them a little bone if they die first. You can't do that with a community property agreement. The community property agreement supersedes everything else. It's like the superseder, okay? Goes above everything else. So beneficiary designations, anything, nope. Community property agreement wins. That's the reason number 2 why I don't like it. Reason number 3 that I don't like it is because the only way that you can rescind or revoke or cancel a community property agreement is if both spouses agree, or if you get divorced. You have to finalize the divorce most of the time. So divorce or death, or agreement, divorce or agreement is the only way that you can revoke these community property agreements. And that can be very tricky over time. In this particular case, the client is kind of between a rock and a hard place. They are elderly now. The spouse is not making great choices. And she also has some places that she would like, her things to go to, but she can't do that. She's prevented from doing that with this community property agreement. So those are all the reasons why I hate, H-A-T-E, community property agreements. All right. Hopefully that made sense. If it did, you liked it or you enjoyed it or you have questions, comments, leave them. Someplace you can subscribe. And if you want to talk more about this yourself with us over the phone for free, you can do so by going to cmslawfirm.com. All right, that is it for today. I am Christopher Small. I am the owner of CMS Law Firm. We do estate planning. We do probate. We do it well. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. I appreciate you, and I will talk to you again soon. See ya.